we found a way to win. But level of disappointment with the way we closed the game.
The way you start, well, we got straight back into it, then took control for most of
Yeah.
the life. Like, so what are you doing now that's allowing you to seize control of key portions of games?
Like early on in the game, I thought we had like a good flow to the way we were playing. And then I actually just looked at it. I think in the first 5 minutes we scored 11 points. And then the remainder of the quarter we finished with 21 points. So like when I'm evaluating, it's about like how's the rhythm and the pace of the game. And I thought we had good application. We allowed them to, a couple of uncontested threes in that patch that gave them a little mojo offensively. So we just need to, curtail that a little bit. And it's amazing when the ball goes through the basket, what happens.
Yeah, what was it about the shooting? Because tonight was really impressive from outside the arc, in particular, which has been something we've struggled with.
Yeah, like I think like good quality shots. We talk about like living in the paint or in transition, advancing it, or just being a good teammate and sharing the ball. And when you do that, you usually find high quality shots versus over dribbling or stuff like that. So that was really pleasing. And obviously David, and then Doolittle carried on from last week with the confidence he's showing shooting the ball right now.
Is he underrated in terms of his defence? He's had a few scalps so far, and he was mostly on Bryce Hamilton tonight. Are we starting to see a guy a contender for Defensive Player of the Year, although late start?
Well, like as you say, you pointed out to who he's defended over the last 3 weeks, some pretty good players. But I would say we've had some good individual defensive players over the last couple of years in our program, and they don't get the credit. David, he'll just keep doing what he's doing, and he'll get recognised.
And David, your shots dropped as well tonight, which must have been nice for your confidence.
Yeah, it's always nice when the ball goes through the hoop. Like Coach said, we did enough to win, but we can't rely on just the ball going through the hoop, because some days it doesn't happen. So there are areas that we'll pick out and try to continue to improve on, because at the end of the day, we want to be a team at the end of the year who's, contending, right? And all these little habits kind of, they can relay and come back to bite you. So we definitely enjoy the win, but there's things that we still want to work on for sure.
Feels like you're embracing the opportunity to take on the best scorer from the opportunity each week. Now you don't know a lot about players in the league yet. That seems to be something you're really enjoying.
Yeah. Whatever the role is that I take pride in my defense for sure. I think it's something that's been a strength of mine in my career, and just defending, but also just being intelligent with it, smart with it, defending without fouling too much, but mainly just taking guys out of their rhythm, which I think tonight, did a pretty decent job on my matchup. But every night it's not just me. I think it's also the guys around me, because the coverage, it's not just one-on-one defense. If they're coming off ball screens, we're throwing different things at them. So the guys, locked in tonight on another matchup, and we're just going to try to continue to keep that going forward.
Do you know much about this competition? Because on Sunday you've got a guy called Chris Golding, who's probably one of our best shooters over the past decade. Have you seen him play? Do you know much about him and accept that challenge?
I've watched, I think pretty much every team in this league, their games playing whenever we're not playing. So, yeah, I've seen them play. I've seen him play. If that's my matchup, then, yeah, I'm looking forward to it for sure. Once we go over that scout, we'll figure out how we're going to, match up against them. So
you've done a lot of studying and just arrived in the learning as you're going. You're doing much work in the background to make sure that you're well and truly aware of everyone.
Well, yeah, for sure. I don't want to just learn guys the week that we're playing them. I want to get familiar with guys across the league before, we even get to that stage, because then you just kind of naturally pick up on their tendencies and know their game before there's a scout thrown in front of you. So yeah, on my off days, if there's a game on, I always try to throw it on and study, if you would say, but I just want to watch and see who's out there.
So, Jonathan, do we underestimate how challenging it actually is to step into a continued competition, new country, figure out who your teammates are, and the opposition, and do what he's doing at the moment?
Look, he's doing a phenomenal job, but Like, I think what's getting disrespected, he's actually a guy that is doing his job. He's a professional athlete paid to perform at what he's doing, and he wants to be the best basketball player he can be. So he is someone that is doing his job at a high level. So that's where I think that's the part that should be commended versus is a challenge. No, he relishes the challenge, and he does his job at a high level. That's the point. Like, I'll go on a rant here. People talk about what's an NBA player. He's tried to be an NBA player. He's playing in the NBL, and he does a really good job, right? The NBA is a really tough league to play in. So he's doing his job, and he's being professional. If you want to play at that level, you need to be professional. And that's what he's doing.
Dave, like Rillie said, you're being a professional. Can you talk a bit about your preparation through the week coming into games like this?
It's the same thing every time we have a game. There's a scout. We're given a scout on our phone on the app, and then in practice we're gonna go over the scout again. And on your off time, you can watch the games from before. And like I said, in other weeks I'm watching all the teams, so I'm familiar with these teams, and you just naturally it gets engraved in your mind. So in the game, when you're under duress and you're tired and you're not letting fatigue kind of just take you out of forgetting what the scout is. It just kind of becomes second nature. So I think just really locking in, and then because we've had these past 2 weeks, we've had some days leading up to go over the scout. It's definitely helped us for sure. But like you said, that's just part of the job. Like, you have to know the scout because we're playing at such a high level. These are high-level players that we're playing against night in and night out. And if you don't know the scout, you're not going to be successful. So just because I've been here for, a pro for a couple years now, like, I've kind of learned the importance of, learning the scout and stuff. So.
John, do you feel like you're building some momentum now, 3 in a row?
Yeah, like, absolutely. Like, I think we've done a good job in this. The last 3 games, we've had some good practice time to build this. Sunday will be like a great challenge to really see where we're at the moment. I'm sure Dean watched those last few minutes, how we ended the game. So, like, as David said earlier, we got to tidy up some things if we really want to get to that championship level consistently.
You need to play them 3 times. You haven't played Melbourne once yet, like the only team you haven't.
Yeah.
You've had a long time to watch throughout the year as well. Do you feel like you have as much information as you could possibly want on them at the moment?
Well, like most teams, like, they're playing at a phenomenal level. They're the best team in the league. But like most of us, they're dealing with injuries, bringing guys in and out. So, they had a tough game tonight. So, we'll prepare like we do for any other team. We got to go in there with a nice edge about ourselves and see where we're really at. It's more about us and where we sit right now against the best team in the competition.
I'm nervous asking this question, but is that the calmest you've been in a game for a while? You seem a lot calmer than normal tonight.
I don't know. They all seem the same to me.
What did Joe say to you when he grabbed you and shook you early in the game?
He was telling me I was doing a phenomenal job of calling all the plays for him.
Anyone on Zoom? Anyone out in the room? Good. Thank you.
All right, cheers.
Very calm.
Thank you, guys.